when the pandemic started, we realized that we had to cancel our trainings and we had to move them onto an online format. And doing that was quite an effort because first of all, you need to know how to handle being online instead of meeting people face to face. And also the planning takes much longer time. The key takeaways for going through this process, I'd say, is first of all that you need to pay a lot of attention to details. When you have a training manual, you can go into the training hall, and if you're very experienced, you can improvise. Improvising online is much harder. You need to have everything planned. So it takes much longer to know exactly how long things are going to take, exactly when you're going to break. You need to give people enough breaks. So the main takeaways are that even though you can make it come very close to the real thing, the important thing is the planning and the planning ahead. So that's where the major part of the work actually lies. We wanted to share what we found out worked best in trainings. So what we did is we first of all also thought, how can you transform the face-to-face training into online, where you take the same elements that we usually work with in mental health and psychosocial support. The 5 key principles of creating safety, creating calming, creating connectedness, creating self and collective efficacy, and leading into hope. So we needed to do that. We also needed to look at what is different, what are the key differences between between face-to-face and online, because there are some major differences that you need to take into account when you train. And then we gave all these tips and tricks for what you can do to make it participatory. So I would say that the main things for trainers reading our material is, some of it is purely common sense. A lot of it you would know, but maybe you didn't think of it. One thing that we also stress very much is that the speaker or facilitator can't give long lectures. You have to give short lectures. You have to use you have to use simple keywords for what you're talking about. So if I'm talking about, now we're going to talk about the transfer, how you can transfer this knowledge from the training into your day-to-day life. I will keep up the word transfer. I can't show long and complicated PowerPoints because that will mean I would lose a connection with participants, and I want them to see me, I want to see them. So as a facilitator, I can still keep track of whether they are following what is going on or not. I will say, is PFA something, psychological first aid, something only professionals do? And at the same, I will say 1, 2, 3, and people will either say yes or no. So that you can gauge the level of knowledge in participants. So all these things are something we do to engage participants and to make it participatory, lively, and fun to be in the training. For a lot of people, there's a lot of safety in using PowerPoints. However, we do know that when you have to listen and read something at the same time as when you use PowerPoints, it's really difficult to take in what do you take in, one or the other, and very often you don't take anything in at all. So my recommendation for everybody who's training is never to use PowerPoints. In fact, when training, I would actually say people are not allowed to use PowerPoint because they take away the contact. They take away the presence. They take away us being together in a room, which is what we want to create in psychosocial support. What we're trying to do in our training, the overall aim is to get as close to the real experience as you possibly can when online. So we do scenarios, we do all kinds of setups, we do role plays where people go into breakout rooms, they will alter the names, they will put on props so that they can practice. We visit the breakout rooms to hear how things are going, because we want people to be able to transfer what they have learned in the training to their everyday life. And to be able to do that, you need to practice. So practice makes perfect, and this is something that we try to do in our trainings. When training online, when you embark on it, don't be afraid, just be yourself. Be your natural self, be who you are. Don't pretend that you're somebody else and you have to be very formal. You can be just as you are when you go into the training hall. That's what people like, the genuine presence of somebody who knows about a topic and who don't pretend. So if a question is asked, say you don't know, if you fumble, it can also make, with the tools or with the digital tools, it can also make people more relaxed and more calm because they know that they don't need to be perfect. So my encouragement would be to all of you trainers out there, get online and enjoy being online.